My name is Anna. We were arguing about dinner. It was a small thing, a stupid thing. I wanted to eat pasta. He wanted to eat chicken. We talked about it for a few minutes. I thought it was a normal conversation, like any other day. But suddenly, his face changed. His eyes became cold. He looked at me, but he did not see me. He saw something else, something angry. He raised his hand. I never saw him like this. My heart stopped. The world stopped. Everything was quiet. Then his hand moved fast. It hit my face. The sound was loud in the small kitchen. It was a sharp sound, a final sound. My head turned to the side. My cheek was hot, so hot. I felt a fire on my skin. I put my hand on my face. It was tender. It hurt so much. But the pain in my heart was bigger, much bigger. I looked at him. His name is Mark. I loved him. I thought he loved me. His hand was still in the air. He looked at his hand. He looked surprised, like his hand was not his own. I could not speak. My mouth was dry. I wanted to say something. I wanted to scream. I wanted to ask, why? But no words came out. I just stood there, my hand on my cheek. Tears started to run down my face. They were hot tears. They mixed with the fire on my skin. I was so scared. My whole body was shaking. I felt small. I felt weak. I did not know this man. The man I loved would not do this. This was a stranger, a scary stranger in my kitchen. He finally lowered his hand. He looked at me. His angry face was gone. Now he looked sad. He looked scared too. Anna, he said. His voice was soft. It was a whisper. Anna, I am so sorry. He tried to touch me. He moved his hand toward my arm. I moved back. I hit the wall. The wall was cold behind me. I did not want him to touch me. Not now. Maybe not ever again. Please, Anna, he said. I did not mean to. I don't know what happened. I got so angry. He started to cry. Big tears rolled down his face. He looked like a little boy, a lost little boy. I looked at him crying. My heart felt confused. Part of me was still so scared, but another part felt sorry for him. I saw the man I loved again. The man who was usually so kind. The man who brought me flowers. The man who held my hand when we watched movies. It will never happen again, he said. He promised me. I swear, Anna, I will never, ever do that again. I love you so much. He kept saying it, over and over. I love you. I am sorry. I love you. I am sorry. I wanted to believe him. I really wanted to believe him. The pain on my cheek was still there. But the idea of losing him was a different kind of pain. A deeper pain. I slowly took my hand away from my face. I looked at my fingers. They were wet with my tears. I finally said something. My voice was quiet. It was a small voice. You hurt me, I said. It was all I could say. He nodded. I know I did. I am a monster. Forgive me. Please forgive me. That night, I did not eat pasta. He did not eat chicken. We did not eat anything. We went to bed. He held me all night. He held me so tight. I felt like I could not breathe, but I did not push him away. I was too tired, too sad. I let him hold me. I closed my eyes, but I did not sleep. All night, I could feel the heat on my cheek. I could hear the loud sound in the quiet kitchen. I could see his angry face, and I was scared. I was so scared. Before I met Mark, my life was simple. I lived in a small town with my parents. My mother taught me how to cook. My father taught me how to fix things. We had a small garden. I loved to sit in the garden and read books. My life was quiet. It was calm. I was a happy person. I went to a local college and studied to be a teacher. I loved children. I wanted to help them learn. I met Mark at a small cafe. I was reading a book. He came to my table. He smiled. He had a beautiful smile. His eyes were kind. He said, "That is a good book. I have read it too." We started talking. We talked for hours. It was so easy to talk to him. He was funny. He was smart. He made me laugh. I felt something special that day. My heart felt warm. We started to date. He was a perfect gentleman. He always opened the door for me. He brought me flowers every week. Yellow flowers. They were my favorite. He listened to me. He cared about my dreams. He told me I would be a great teacher. He supported me. My parents liked him. My mother said, "He is a good man, Anna. He will take care of you." My father shook his hand and said, "Welcome to the family." I thought I was the luckiest girl in the world. We were happy for 2 years. We moved into a small apartment together in the city. It was a big change for me. The city was loud. It was busy. But I was with Mark, so I was not scared. He had a good job at a big company. I was still finishing my studies. He paid for our apartment. He paid for our food. He said, "Don't worry, Anna. I will take care of everything. You just focus on your school." I felt so loved. I felt so safe. Sometimes he got stressed from his work. He would come home late. He would be quiet. He would not want to talk. I would make him his favorite dinner. I would try to make him smile. Most of the time, it worked. He would kiss my head and say, "Thank you, Anna. You are my angel." But sometimes, he would get a little angry. Not at me, at his boss, at the traffic, at the world. His voice would get loud. He would say bad words. I did not like it. It made me feel uncomfortable. But he never got angry at me. Not like that. Not until the night in the kitchen. The morning after he hit me, I woke up early. He was still sleeping. He was holding my hand. I slowly moved my hand away. I went to the bathroom. I looked in the mirror. My cheek was red and a little swollen. It looked like a big, ugly mark. My heart sank. I touched it gently. It still hurt. I started to cry again. Quiet tears. I did not want to wake him up. How could this happen? How could the man I loved do this to me? I thought about his words. It will never happen again. I wanted to believe him. I needed to believe him. I loved him. My life was with him. I could not imagine my life without him. So I decided I would forgive him. It was one time. A mistake. A terrible, terrible mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Right. I put some makeup on my cheek. I tried to cover the red mark. It was not perfect, but it was better. I went to the kitchen where it happened. I felt a chill. I started to make breakfast. I wanted everything to be normal. I wanted to forget last night. Mark woke up. He came into the kitchen. He looked at me. His eyes were full of sadness. "Good morning," I said. I tried to smile. It was a weak smile. He came to me. He hugged me from behind. He put his head on my shoulder. "I am so sorry, Anna," he whispered. "I love you more than anything." I closed my eyes. "I know," I said. "I love you too." That day he was perfect. He was the Mark I fell in love with. He bought me flowers. Not yellow flowers. Red roses. A big, beautiful bouquet. He wrote a card. It said, "To my Anna, my love, my everything. I am forever sorry. Please forgive me." He made me dinner, my favorite pasta. He did not talk about his work. He only talked about us, about our future. He said he wanted to marry me one day. He said he wanted to have a family with me. My heart felt happy when he said those things. I started to relax. I thought, okay, it was just one bad night, a very bad night. But it is over now. He is sorry. He loves me. We will be okay. We will go back to being happy. I put the red mark on my cheek out of my mind. I put the loud sound out of my mind. I chose to believe him. I chose to believe in our love. For a few weeks, everything was wonderful. It was like the beginning of our relationship. He was so sweet, so attentive. He called me during the day just to say he loved me. He helped me with my schoolwork. He cleaned the apartment. He did everything to make me happy. And I was happy. I really was. I thought, see, he is a good man. He just made a mistake. I started to forget the fear I felt that night. The memory became blurry. It felt like a bad dream, not a real thing. My mother called me one day. "Hello, Anna. How are you, my sweet girl?" she said. Her voice was always so cheerful. It made me smile. "I am good, Mom. Everything is great." I told her about my school. I told her how helpful Mark was being. I wanted her to know that everything was perfect. "That's wonderful, dear," she said. "I am so glad you are happy." But then her voice changed a little. It became more serious. "You know, Anna, you can always talk to me about anything. If anything is ever wrong, you can tell me. You know that, right?" Her words made my stomach feel tight. Did she know? How could she know? I tried to sound normal. "Of course, Mom, I know that. But everything is fine. Really. Mark is a wonderful man." "I know he is," she said. "I just worry. You are my only daughter. I want you to be safe and happy always." After the call, I felt a little strange. Why did she say that? Was it just a mother's worry? Or did she sense something? I looked in the mirror. The mark on my cheek was gone. There was no proof. It was just a memory. A bad memory that I was trying to forget. I told myself my mother was just being a mother. I pushed the worried feeling away. Then things started to change again. Slowly. It was not a big change. It was small things. Mark started to get stressed with work again. He would come home late. He would be quiet and angry. I tried to be a good girlfriend. I made his favorite meals. I kept the apartment clean. I did not ask him too many questions. I did not want to make him more stressed. I did not want another argument. One evening, my friend from college, Sarah, called me. We were planning to study together at the library. "Hey, Anna, are you ready to go?" she asked. "Yes, I just need to tell Mark," I said. Mark was sitting on the sofa, watching TV. I walked over to him. "Mark," I said softly, "I am going to the library to study with Sarah." He did not look at me. He kept his eyes on the TV. "Why?" he asked. His voice was flat. "We have a big exam next week," I explained. "We need to study together." "You can study here," he said. "But we planned to go to the library. It's quiet there. We can focus." He finally looked at me. His eyes were cold again. It was the same look from that night in the kitchen. My heart started to beat faster. "I don't want you to go," he said. "Why not?" I asked. My voice was small. "Because I said so," he said. His voice was getting louder. "I had a hard day at work. I want you here. Is that too much to ask?" "No, but Sarah is waiting for me. Call her, tell her you can't come." I stood there for a moment. I did not know what to do. I did not want to make him angry. The memory of his hand was suddenly very clear in my mind. The fear came back. It was a cold feeling in my chest. I took out my phone. My hands were shaking. I called Sarah. "Sarah, I am so sorry." "I can't come tonight," I said. I tried to keep my voice steady. "Oh, okay. Is everything all right?" she asked. She sounded worried. Yes, I'm not feeling very well," I lied. I hated lying to my friend. "Okay, Anna. I hope you feel better. Call me tomorrow." I hung up the phone. I looked at Mark. He was watching TV again, like nothing happened. He did not say thank you. He did not say anything. I went to our bedroom and closed the door. I sat on the bed. I felt so lonely. I felt trapped. He did not hit me, but it felt like he did. He used his words. He used his anger. He controlled me. And I let him, because I was scared. This started to happen more and more. He did not like it when I went out with my friends. He said they were a bad influence. He did not like it when I talked to my family on the phone for too long. He said I should spend more time with him. He started to check my phone. He would read my messages. He asked who I was talking to. I started to feel like I was walking on eggshells. I was always careful about what I said, what I did. I tried to keep him happy. I tried to avoid any arguments. I lost contact with many of my friends. It was just easier that way. My world became very small. It was just our apartment. And it was just Mark. I felt like I was losing myself. I used to be a cheerful person. I used to love reading and talking to people. Now I was quiet. I was always worried. I did not laugh as much. I looked in the mirror and I saw a sad girl. Her eyes were tired. I did not know this girl. One day he got angry again. This time it was about money. He said I spent too much on groceries. I showed him the receipt. I told him I only bought what we needed. He did not listen. He started yelling. He said I was ungrateful. He said he worked hard all day, and I just wasted his money. His words hurt. I worked hard too. I was studying full time. It was not easy. That's not fair, Mark, I said. My voice was shaking. I was tired of being scared. I was tired of being careful. Don't talk back to me, he shouted. His face was red. He was standing very close to me. He grabbed a plate from the table. He threw it against the wall. The plate shattered into 100 small pieces. The sound was so loud. I screamed. I covered my ears. I closed my eyes. I was waiting for him to hit me. My whole body was tense. But he did not hit me. He just stood there, breathing hard. I opened my eyes. He was looking at the broken plate on the floor. Then he looked at me. I was crying. I was shaking. The fear was all over my face. Seeing me like that seemed to calm him down. His angry face softened. He came to me. Anna, I'm sorry, he said. The same words. Always the same words. I'm so stressed. I didn't mean to scare you. He tried to hug me. This time, I pushed him away. No, I said, don't touch me. I ran to the bedroom and locked the door. I sat on the floor with my back against the door. I could hear him outside. He was knocking softly. Anna, please open the door. Let's talk. I'm sorry. I did not answer. I just sat there and cried. I cried for a long time. The broken plate was a symbol of my life. It was shattered. My love for him was shattered. My feeling of safety was shattered. I looked at the pieces of my life on the floor, and I did not know how to put them back together. I knew then. This was not a mistake. This was a pattern. First, the argument. Then, the anger. Then, the violence. Maybe not hitting me, but throwing things, yelling, scaring me. And then, the apology, the promises, the sweet words. And then it would start all over again. The cycle. I was trapped in a cycle. I stayed in the bedroom for hours. I was too scared to come out. What if he was still angry? What if he broke down the door? I thought about my mother. I thought about her words. You can always talk to me. I wanted to call her. But I was scared. What would I say? Mom, the man you think is perfect. He hurts me. He scares me. I was ashamed. I felt like it was my fault. Maybe I was not a good enough girlfriend. Maybe I made him angry. But deep inside, I knew that was not true. It was not my fault. No one deserves to be treated like this. No one deserves to be scared in their own home. When I finally came out of the bedroom, it was very late. The apartment was dark and quiet. The broken pieces of the plate were gone, He had cleaned them up. He was asleep on the sofa. There was a note on the coffee table. It said, "I love you. I will be better." I looked at him sleeping. He looked so peaceful, so innocent. How could this peaceful man be the same person who screamed and threw a plate? It was like there were two Marks, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I loved one of them, and I was terrified of the other. The next morning, I knew I had to do something. I could not live like this anymore. The fear was eating me from the inside. I was becoming a ghost of myself. I decided to call my mother. I needed to hear her voice. I needed to feel her love. I waited until Mark left for work. I watched from the window as his car drove away. My hands were shaking as I picked up my phone. I dialed her number. She answered on the second ring. "Hello, Anna." I tried to speak, but a sob came out instead. I started crying. I could not stop. Anna, what's wrong? What happened?" My mother's voice was full of panic. "Mom," I cried. "I need help. I am so scared." "Where is Mark?" she asked immediately. "He went to work," I said between sobs. "Okay, listen to me, Anna. I am coming to get you. Pack a small bag, just the important things. Your documents, some clothes. Can you do that?" "Yes," I whispered. "I will be there in 2 hours. Just be ready. Don't tell him. Don't call him. Just pack your bag and wait for me. I love you, Anna. You are going to be okay." Hanging up the phone, I felt a strange mix of fear and relief. I was scared to leave. What would Mark do when he came home and I was gone? But I was relieved that I was finally doing something. I was taking a step, a small step towards safety. I went to our bedroom. I opened the closet. I looked at my clothes. I looked at his clothes, hanging next to mine. I felt a wave of sadness. I was leaving my life behind. Our life. I took a small bag from under the bed. I packed my passport, my wallet, a few shirts, and my favorite book, the one I was reading when I met him. I held the book in my hands. I remembered that day in the cafe. The happy, smiling man. Where did he go? As I was packing, I saw the red roses he had given me. They were in a vase on the dresser. They were starting to die. The petals were falling off. It was a sad sight. I took one of the roses. I held it in my hand. I remembered how beautiful they were when he first gave them to me. But now, they were just a reminder of a broken promise. I walked around the apartment one last time. I looked at the sofa where we watched movies. I looked at the kitchen where we cooked together, and where he hid me. Every corner of this apartment had a memory. A good memory and a bad memory. It was all mixed up. I sat by the window and waited for my mother. Every car that passed made my heart jump. I was so afraid that Mark would come home early. 2 hours felt like 2 years. Finally, I saw my mother's car pull up outside. I grabbed my bag. I took a deep breath. I opened the door of the apartment. I did not look back. I ran to her car and got in. She hugged me so tight. I started crying again. She did not say anything. She just held me. She let me cry. After a few minutes, she started the car and we drove away. I watched my apartment building get smaller and smaller in the mirror. I was leaving. I was really leaving. The drive to my parents' house was quiet. I was too exhausted to talk. My mother held my hand the whole time. Her hand was warm and strong. I felt safe for the first time in a long time. When we arrived, my father was waiting at the door. He hugged me. He had tears in his eyes. "You are home now," he said. "You are safe." That night, I slept in my old bedroom. It was strange to be back. Everything was the same. My books were on the shelf. My old posters were on the wall. It felt like I had traveled back in time, to a time when I was happy and carefree. I slept for 12 hours, a deep, dreamless sleep. My body and my soul were so tired. The next day, Mark started calling. He called my phone over and over. I did not answer. He left so many messages. Some were angry. "Where are you, Anna? How could you just leave? You have to come back." Some were sad. "Anna, please come home. I miss you. I can't live without you. I am so sorry. I will change, I promise." Some were desperate. "I love you. Don't do this to us. Our love is special." My mother took my phone. "You don't need to listen to this," she said. "You need to heal." My parents were amazing. They did not ask me a lot of questions. They just gave me space. My mother cooked my favorite meals. My father fixed my old bicycle. We sat in the garden together, just like when I was a little girl. It was peaceful. It was calm. Slowly, I started to feel like myself again. But it was not easy. At night, I would have nightmares. I would see his angry face. I would hear the plate smashing. I would wake up screaming. My mother would come and sit with me until I fell asleep again. I also felt guilty. Maybe I should have tried harder. Maybe I should have helped him. But my father said something to me that I will never forget. He said, "Anna, you cannot fix a person who does not want to be fixed. And you cannot set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Your only job is to keep yourself safe. You did the right thing." His words helped me so much. I realized he was right. I was not responsible for Mark's anger. I was only responsible for my own safety and happiness. After a few weeks, Mark's calls stopped. He sent one last text message. It said, "I hope you find happiness, Anna. I will always love you." I read the message. I did not feel sad. I did not feel angry. I just felt nothing. He was a chapter in my life, a very painful chapter. And now it was closed. I started to rebuild my life. I transferred to my old college to finish my degree. I saw my old friends again. I told Sarah what happened. She hugged me and said, "I am so proud of you for being so brave." Being with my friends and family made me feel strong again. I was not alone. I also started to see a therapist, a kind woman who helped me understand my feelings. She taught me about the cycle of abuse. She taught me that it was not my fault. Talking to her helped me heal the invisible wounds. the wounds in my heart and my mind. It has been a year now. I finished my degree. I am now a teacher at a small elementary school. I love my job. The children make me laugh every day. Their energy and happiness are contagious. I have my own small apartment, not far from my parents. It is a sunny, happy place. I have yellow flowers on my table. I bought them for myself. Sometimes I think about Mark. I hope he got help. I hope he is a better person now. But I don't want to see him again. The scars are still there. They are a part of my story. They remind me of how strong I am. I survived. My life is not a perfect fairy tale, but it is my life. It is real, and it is peaceful. I found my smile again. I found my laughter again. I found myself again. If you are listening to my story and you feel scared, if you feel trapped, please know that you are not alone. It is not your fault, and you are stronger than you think. It is okay to be scared. I was so scared, but you can ask for help. You can talk to someone, a friend, a family member, a professional. Taking that first step is the hardest part, but it is also the most important. You deserve to be safe. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be loved in a way that does not hurt. My journey was long and difficult, but I am here now, and I am happy. You can be too. You can do this. Keep going.